Life gives us moments when we have the opportunity to make a choice. And what we choose has the potential to change our lives forever. Join us now for another inspired episode of The Breakthrough. And now, please welcome the creator and host of the show, Jessica Dugas.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Breakthrough Show, your weekly dose from inspiration, changing how you look at and live your life. Our guest stories are full of motivation and transformation and will inspire you to grow. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I'm super excited to be here for another episode with you today. I have lots of special guests today, so I want to jump into all of that really quickly. First up, we have our previous panelist on the show, my favorite declutter coach and consultant, and yours, Heather Clark, is joining us today.
Hello.
Welcome back, Heather.
Thank you again. I obviously enjoy coming back every single time.
Yes. Well, I mean, we have a good time. We have to get Tara back on at some point for the three of us because, you know, that's like Charlie's Angels on steroids.
That is true. That is true. Yes.
We have a good time, though. We have a good time. Also up on the show today, we are welcoming back my cousin Jim Spinnato to the show. Yay.
Hey, cousin Jess. Hey. Hey, can I be a part of the Charlie's Angels thing?
Sure. You want to be Charlie?
Yeah. Yes.
We had Calvin. We had our episode last season, season 3 of doing when we did the Halloween episode, and we did Charlie's Angels, and Calvin Witcher was our Charlie that day. We made him change his clothes before he came on because he didn't wear what we asked him to wear. So we were like, listen, you can't be Charlie and wear the same things we are.
Did he say hello, angels? Hello, angels.
He did. It was
very nice. What's up, Heather?
Not much. How are you?
Mm-hmm.
How are things down there?
Things are great.
Fantastic.
I'm working like crazy. I go to the grocery store every day.
Oh, you go grocery shopping every day? Oh, no, I can't do that. No.
Are you nuts? I don't go at all.
Okay, good. Listen, I don't like grocery shopping on good days. So when no.
I actually do like it. I just can't go.
Yeah, no. I'm not a fan of grocery shopping.
I like Instacart. Instacart is my favorite thing now.
I haven't even tried that yet.
I order my groceries online and they shop and deliver them to me.
Yeah, well, we had that down here called Peapod, but they're 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
Like my wife was on yesterday. 3 weeks, and then they're not guaranteeing the order either. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, guys, I have an amazing interview coming up for you in a little bit with actor David Austin Veal. But first, we want to bring you some fun, and because who doesn't need some more fun? And Jim's going to do some tricks and stuff for us today. But I want to ask you first, what's something in your life right now that's bringing you joy? Something that's making you happy?
Who are you asking?
You.
Well, my response is you.
Hey.
How's that, ta-da?
Where's your buttons today with your ta-da?
Oh, did I have that last time? No, you were referring to the video. Yeah,
yes.
I should have thought of that. I didn't. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Ta-da!
What's bringing me joy? You know what? Listen, I have a lot of time in my hands. I told you before, all the shows have been canceled for the time being. So I'm just getting back into the close-up magic stuff. The magic I was doing before all this happened was stand-up comedy magic at the club, at the casino. But now I'm doing a lot of close-up magic stuff. So that's what's bringing me a lot of joy.
Yeah. What about you, Heather? What's something bringing you joy right now?
Grocery
warm weather. What did you say, Jeff?
I love grocery shopping, Heather said.
No, I was going to say that I enjoy the fact that the warm weather is starting to come and spring and all the greenery and no longer the snow.
Very
you
Canadian
guys had
of
snow up there?
Yes, very Canadian. Yes, you're right. Very Canadian. Actually, there's some places north of me that still have snow, but all our snow is finally melted and the buds are finally coming out. So, yes.
Wow.
I don't like when the bugs come out here.
Not bugs, bud.
Oh,
well, the bugs are coming out too, but
listen, I don't like when
Listen, those bugs have been coming out forever, whether it's winter or not. Oh wait, no, we're not talking about the same kind of bugs. All right.
You go, bugs.
I don't like when the bugs come out here either, because it looks like Pikachu exploded. I mean, it's yellow everywhere. It's like pollen, like layers and layers and layers of pollen here in Alabama.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, no, we don't have that. We have like the green. We have pollen, but it's not layers of yellowness.
No, this is like you could go like this and paint with it. It's
gross.
yeah. It's
Layers of yellowness.
Yeah. All right, let's rein it back in. Let's rein it back in. No, have you had to, like, how hard has it been for you, or how easy has it been, or how have you had to look at your business differently because of how things have shifted and changed over this last little while?
My business?
Yeah.
My business, the entertainment business, is non-existing at this point. All my entertainment friends, none of us have any shows, and I'm sure. Well, we have shows scheduled. Like I have shows in May and June, but I'm sure I'll probably lose those, as will my other friends. I told you before, one of my good friends is a headliner in Vegas. He's out of work, so it's non-existent. I'm really curious to see when it comes back how it's going to be. Like my show's really interactive. People come up on stage, I shake their hands. That's gonna change. I'm assuming it's gonna be a different ballgame when things get back to normal.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It'll be just a different way to look at things. I think it's given us all, like, to look at the positive of things. It's given us all an opportunity to say, like, how can we make it so outside influence doesn't completely change our business the way it does? You know, like, what things can we add, or how can we do things differently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Heather?
I love how Jim's always like, and you. Well, mine, I was actually considering putting mine local, but apparently I'm going to keep it online. So now it's allowed me to go full force with my dreams of actually doing it full-time online, because clearly I have time now.
Good luck.
What?
What?
I know. All right. Well, let's have some fun. Are you gonna show us some stuff today, Jim?
Do I have to? Yes.
Well, I mean, is that why you're here?
I would love to. Are you going to show that ball thing later, the cup thing?
Yes, I will do that. I will do that too.
I love that. Excuse me. I thought I would start off with a very, very simple trick, and it's a card trick, and I got the senior citizen size for you guys. Okay. Can you guys see those?
Yes.
Yeah.
For those of you that are listening to this on podcast, this is the point where you are going to want to go find the video episode, which you can do on our website at thebreakthroughshow.com, or on Facebook, or on YouTube.
Yeah. Right. So, Jess, you see all these cards? I have 5 big jumbo cards here, Jess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. I want you, Jess, just think of one. Don't even mention. Just think of one. Just think of one. You're thinking of one.
Yep. Okay.
As you're thinking, I'm going to see how we're cousins, but I want to see how we connect mentally. I'm going to remove one card, Jess.
Okay.
And let me just put it down there as I square this up. Jess, look at the cards.
Mm-hmm.
If I've removed your card, I want you to clap like crazy. What card were you thinking of, Jess?
The Queen of Clubs.
Oh, this one. Ta-da! A little trick that I had hanging around, I hadn't done for a while. Well, listen, can we do something else?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can connect with you again mentally. I'm going to ask you in a moment just to think of a person that only you know, okay? That Jess and I don't know. And I just want you to think of their initials, all right?
Okay.
And try to convey that to me. And what I'll do is I'm going to write down, let me do this. I'm going to write down something on this piece of paper, which I will just put in the glass right there. Can you see it in the glass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Jess, the person you were thinking of, the initials were what?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, because I've already committed.
DW.
DW, not WD?
No.
Okay. Okay. Now what I want you to do, Jess, I want you to think of, I just want you to think of a color. Okay, just think of a color. Okay. Just try to convey that to me. Hold on, let me just write this down. All right. So I committed to a color. Put it in the glass. What color were you thinking of, honey?
Blue.
Not navy blue, just blue.
Just blue.
Okay. Now I'm going to try to project something from me to you. All right. I am thinking of a number, Jess, and it's a unique number. It's relatively a small number. I will tell you that it's between 30 and 50. It's a two-digit number, Jess. And what makes this number unique is that it's an odd number, and both of the digits are odd. I'm thinking of that number. I'm trying to convey that to you. All right? Mm-hmm. And as you think, I'm going to write down the number, which I will put, if I can do this, in the glass. So, Jess, I tried to convey a number to you, all right? You tried to convey a color to me, and you tried to convey a person to me. Mm-hmm. First, let's go through this one at a time. The number I was thinking of was actually 37. Mm. You were thinking of what?
33.
33. So we're pretty close. Close. But I also asked you to think of a person. Yeah. And you said DW, mm-hmm. And I actually wrote down DW. And out of all the colors that you thought of the color blue, and I wrote down the color blue. So 2 out of 3 is not bad, and we're pretty close on the odd number. So yeah, something a little silly.
That's a good one.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Everybody. Ta-da!
Yeah. Ta-da!
33. We're so close. Oh, so close.
So close. It's a good thing.
You know why that didn't work exactly right? Because we're second cousins and not first cousins. We're first cousins. If this was your mom, we would have connected.
That's right. I'll have to have her on sometime, and we'll have you back, and then we'll make that work.
How's that for an out?
How's that for an out? That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, we're gonna cut in just a minute, and I'm gonna show you guys Jim's trick with the balls, and then I'm gonna be talking to David Austin Veal, and then we'll be back with some more of Jim at the end. We'll be right back, everybody.
So this is my regularly scheduled weekly, monthly, yearly, morning, whenever I can, magic trick of the afternoon. Actually, this is a takeoff on a very old trick called the cups and balls, which had 3 cups and 3 balls, and the magician would do like cool stuff with it. This only has 1 ball, 1 cup. And I like it, and I practice, and I hope you like it, and I hope it doesn't suck. Thanks. Okay, here it is, the famous cup and ball trick. Not the cups and balls, cup and ball. We're on a limited budget here. The object of the trick is for you to determine where the ball might be, okay? Whether it's in my hand, under the cup, or in my pocket. Now, if you guess my hand, I'm sorry. If you guess under the cup, nope. It's actually inside my pocket. Now, if I wanted the ball to go from my hand in under the cup magically, I would just grab it, take the wand, tap my hand. A couple of things happen then. Number 1, I get a nice little red spot there. Number 2, the ball disappears and actually goes back under the cup. All right. Now, there are 2 ways, 2 ways to make the ball go from my pocket under the cup. The visible way and the invisible way. I'll show you the visible way first. Watch. The visible way from pocket to the cup. Ta-da! Stupid. Hold on. I love that. Here's the invisible way. The invisible way to make the ball go from my pocket under the cup. Grab the ball, invisibly of course, tap it, tap the cup, and when you do, it returns, right? Now, not only does it work with this pocket, but it works with this pocket as well. Look, take the ball, place it in, tap, tap, and it returns. Now, this part is really interesting. Take the ball, place it in the pocket, tap, tap,
And this time it returns, but a different color. I love that. Watch, one more time. In the pocket, you tap, and the ball returns bigger and brighter. I have no idea how that works. Nor do I have no idea how that works. That's it. Thanks.
Hey, Jessica Dugas here, creator, producer, and host of The Breakthrough Show. We have big goals here at the show in the desire to change the world one Breakthrough Show episode at a time. And honestly, we couldn't do it without you. We want to take this moment to give a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters for helping us to not only expand the show, but spread its message far and wide. If you're not a supporter yet, we would love to have you. You can choose any tier with tons of benefits at patreon.com/thebreakthroughshow. We can't wait to have you part of our Breakthrough Show family. And now back to the show. Welcome back to The Breakthrough Show. My special guest today is an award-winning actor and writer living in Los Angeles who believes that every day is a great day to create, to mentor, and be an active part of the fabric of our world. Everyone, please welcome my new friend, David Austin Veal, to the show. David, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy you're here and I finally get a chance to talk to you. I loved when we had our initial coffee chat and getting to know you a little bit, and I just love your story. So I'm excited for everybody else to hear about that today. Thank you
for the invite. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to dig in and chat with you about everything. So I always like to start out the show with just asking you to share with us something that's bringing you joy in your life right now. Share with us what joy looks like for David in this moment.
I think that basically it's allowing for me to express myself in a way that, when you're a kid, you're told, hey, don't do this, don't do that, and all this. But I think that when you're an actor, inside of you, you just have to emote. You have to say silly things. You have to dance around. You have to do whatever it is, and you don't know what it is that makes you do all of this. But I found it in acting. I think that's what really is great about acting. I have found that it's okay to be expressive. It's okay to try to think deeper, feel deeper, all of that. And there's some place for my empathy to go with acting. Whereas if I'm working in an office or if I'm I was a graphic designer for 30 years. And yes, they wanted my creativity, but not necessarily all that empathy and all that silliness and all that craziness, which was kind of at the core of me. So my joy is, I guess, that I get to be more of myself in acting.
I love that. I love that because I think many of us have been afraid at least at one time or another, if not right now, to completely be ourselves. There's so many expectations from the outside world of what we should be and how we should live our lives and the paths that we should take. And a lot of times we feel like we have to conform to that instead of just being who we are and allowing ourselves to be authentic. And so I love that you're finding joy in that. I think I'm getting there with finding joy in being my authentic self. Well, I'm a work in progress. I would love for you.
If you were not a work in progress, what fun would that be?
That's right. I would love for you to take us back to what your life was like before, David, before you went out to Hollywood and the kind of life you were living. What was every day like for you then?
Before we came out here to Colorado, it was a great life too because I was doing graphic design work. I have a wonderful wife. We have a 24-year-old. I keep saying 25. I get mixed up. But he's great and everything. So we were raising a child in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. And the day-to-day was basically it hasn't almost changed because it's a freelance business life where you are the business, your creativity is the business. It's the same thing in acting. So in a way, some things have not changed. In a way, some things have because of the mode of expression. I think I mentioned to you that I haven't picked up a pencil in those 4 or 5 years since I've started acting. It's just switched over. But we love Colorado. My family's there. It was great. My son is autistic, and his passion, which brought him, allows for him to grow, was ballroom dancing. And he had studied it in Colorado, but he wanted to study it out with a certain studio in Hermosa Beach called You Can Dance Studio. And so when he turned 18, he came out here. We're going to go with him. So we brought him out here. We're still a family unit. And about that time, I had decided that I couldn't do any more graphic design. And so I was searching for something. My wife and I found each other acting. So I thought, I'll take an acting lesson. And then that kind of grew on me very quickly. And I found it as fun and easy and freeing as I had found it years and years and years ago in Denver. So that's where we are right now.
So it's interesting because I think a lot of people feel like we have these things that we love and we enjoy when we're younger, and we might do theater, we might do music, we might do art, and then we sort of somewhere along the way, I know that it was like this for me. Someone might tell us, there's no money in that, or only a few people really truly make it, or and that, like, giving us that impression that that's not a real job, and we might go away from those things, and then we never really go back to those things because we feel like, oh well, my time has passed. Like, what was it in you that was saying your time isn't past, David? You could still go for what you want.
I want to say something as mundane as boredom. As I want to say something as primal as selfishness. I think some people say, I did not find acting found me. A lot of people will say, I did not find knitting found me, and I can't stop doing it. I think that I wrote this in my Facebook today, that passion is a code word for therapy. So
I love that.
I think that there's really, you find something, you grab hold of it, and you go like, this is really cool. In my life, soccer was that way, volleyball was that way, playing guitar was that way, but they had different phases. And I think that, I'm 60 years old, so I've been through many phases, and I've allowed myself to do that. But I think one other good part of that answer is that expectations. I did not expect to become a professional actor. I did not set out there heroically like so many of these people do. They come in here to Los Angeles and they are put into a pool of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and they're going to make it. And we hope that they do. But percentage-wise, it's not something, even if you're a talented actor, talented business person, doesn't mean that what you had in mind is what you're going to get.
Right.
It's kind of that journey thing. For me, as soon as I did some background work and I was pixelated, as soon as I did a student film and there I am, I'm acting and all of that, I was thrilled. That was great. And for some people coming in, that is something that isn't going to thrill them. What's going to thrill them is to be on a sitcom or on a show or in a lead in a movie and all of that. And those are really hard. It's really hard to get there.
Right.
And unpredictable.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Do you think that, because I love how you said that, I think visualizing what you want is great. I think having it in your mind that, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to, is great to visualize that. But I love how you were talking about the expectation of everything. Do you think that part of the journey for you has been not so much having the joy in this is what I could be, but having the joy in this is who I am, and like sort of what you're going through in the moment?
I think a part of that is, but in my case, and you are describing a lot of people, by the way, a lot of people start acting one way or another in high school, junior high, and some kind of community theater or whatever, and they get the bug and they see a vision that where they could be. They want to be a celebrity, or maybe they don't want to be a celebrity, but they want to always be on, a set of some sort, acting, or maybe on stage. They saw something on stage and they just absolutely want it and everything. I think that for me, setting those expectations and not being able to grab that vision of where I could be and all of that was that I was willing to open up and say, whatever happens, happens. I was happy to be in acting school, doing a scene with another person.
Right.
They believed that I was that character. I fooled them. I thought, oh my God, they think I'm somebody else. And then you're looking at their eyes. That's the important thing in acting. Isn't the film, isn't the credits, isn't this and that. You're connecting with another individual. You're in a scene. You both are characters, but you're very real. And that's acting. Acting is not pretending. You are that person. If you're angry, you are really, really angry.
Yeah.
And if you're disappointed, you're really disappointed. And it's not facial expressions as it is that contact, the emotional contact.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. It's interesting because, as I was growing up, I envisioned myself having something to do with acting or singing or something artsy of that nature. I've always loved to express myself in that way. And it was also a real safe space for me as I had trouble growing up, in different areas of my life, whether it was home life or something else, that it was always like, it was a safe space and it was joy that I wasn't otherwise experiencing as I would be singing or acting or on the stage or even just interacting with the other people in that community. Do you find that that's a joy for you now, is just being with other people who have like sort of that same drive or desire to be in that? Yes.
I don't know in my 20s how I would have felt about things. If I had been in Hollywood in my 20s, I probably would have left. So
Interesting.
hard and everything. But I think that as I get older, I understand the power of compassion. I want to make the other actor feel good. I want them to succeed. If they succeed, I succeed. But it's not about me. It's about the situation. It's about, am I making the audience happy? That kind of a thing. That plays in your mind a little bit, but if you're not in there with the other actor, or if you're doing a monologue and you're thinking selfishly instead of empathetically with the character, empathetically with the situation, your imagination gets cluttered with the audience or with expectations or with all this stuff. But really what should be happening is that you should be in tune with the moment. There's so much. Acting is like a psychology class. Oh, you're the middle one. You're the experimental one. You're the goody thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope people out here listen to their hearts, and if they really want to go acting, that they go to community theater, that they get an acting coach, that they read up on acting, that they listen to some of those. If they want to do it for money, that's different. If they want to do it for money, I've given you some of those links of
Yes.
people to crack the whip, to get you going with your headshots and your acting reels and all of the things that you need to do. But what you're talking about is more, is acting something for you? Are you going to get anything out of it? And that kind of a thing. I think that's what you're asking more of. And for that, people should just go out there and try it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting because you also mentioned, as you're talking about people coming to Hollywood and kind of having this idea that they were going to make it big, and then they're sort of taken back because there's so many, it's a bigger pond of people trying to make it and trying to get themselves known and in there. And I was talking to another guest on the show recently where she was just talking about being an entrepreneur and how she thought, she had quit her job and she's all in with wanting to start her business. But then she realized, I have to have money coming in, and I've got to take another job while I'm trying to make it myself. Yeah. And so I think it's very similar, whether we're talking about acting or being an entrepreneur, that doesn't mean because you have to get a job to pay your bills until you get where you want to be. Otherwise, it doesn't mean you haven't made it. It doesn't mean that you're not doing well. I think
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then a good acting coach, if you're in a good acting class, if you're in an acting class and you're being browbeaten and people are going like, well, get up there and do better and all this stuff, that's not an acting class. An acting class should be compassionate and should have as a component for those who are wanting to do this for the business of acting. You are the product. You are your boss. People like an acting agent. Yeah, they'll get you a couple of auditions, but it's up to you to get it. And it's up to you to change your acting agent if your acting agent isn't doing or working with you in a way that you find profitable. They're also managers, and the managers are going to help you identify a little bit more of your business characteristics and try to get you more disciplined and hit this goal, hit that business goal, hit that business goal. So if you're doing it for money, you are an entrepreneur. You are, and you do have to find some way to make money while you are in a place. I mean, now you could go to Atlanta, you can go to, of course, New York, New Mexico is shooting a lot of stuff.
Wow.
It's kind of opened up. It's not just Los Angeles, but you do have to have a way of making sure that your home is financially secure, emotionally secure. Yeah. We're in my bedroom right now. Shh, don't tell anyone.
David, this has gone to another level.
I know, but this is where I do 90% of my work. I mean, when it comes to, I don't have these scripts, I got grab scripts. When it comes to learning this, when it comes to learning scripts and everything like that, I'm in here memorizing and imagining and talking to people who are not here and yelling at them and crying and screaming and all of that stuff. Then I go to rehearsal and I work with the other actors. It's, that's what you do. You work and you work and you work, It's kind of lonely, but then you get to be on stage or on set eventually here and there.
I think many of us, though, that have wanted to get into the industry of some kind, we have this vision of what we think your life is like out there, and we have it in our mind that it's going to be all glitz and glamour all the time. That it's all no hardships, no struggles, no anything else. Like, what were some of the big things that you learned as you were getting your career going there? What are some of the big things that you've learned about yourself and about the industry, things that you would want other people to know?
Boy, things that I've learned. Well, I learned that things I've done earlier all come into play. An acting class, you are honing your emotional self to come in, to say these words, to relate and all of that. I did that when I was a kid. I did that when I was working with people on their marketing and their branding and all of that. I also know things from my past have helped me figure out when, okay, those people didn't like what I just did with the audition. I went to an audition with 70 other people, or maybe 15 other people.
Yeah.
And gosh darn it, they didn't call me back. Now, sometimes when somebody's new to auditions, they think that they did something wrong. What am I doing wrong with this and that? I've gone to 20 auditions and I have not gotten booked one time. Now, what do I do? What's going on? And I, because of my graphic design background, understand that it's marketing. The casting director is looking for the person, that person who comes in as their natural self. You know, Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise, and he can't come in and be like Arnold Schwarzenegger all of a sudden. You know, you can't pretend that way.
Boy, that would be interesting to try to see.
Yeah, we love our actors because we love our actors, not just the celebrities, but the when you look at any movie or any TV show, and you look at who's a nerd, who is I'm a beta male, I'm never going to be the hero. I can, I guess, in some days, or the villain. You know, I can do that too, but I'm pretending I can do that. You know, that's it. I'm just who I am, talking to you right now. Aren't I the guy next door? Aren't I I could be the doctor who's trying to tell you about things, you know? Sorry that we couldn't get the sponge out. I drop things all the time. You know, it's who you are. That's your casting. And that I knew that now because of things that where I've been in my life. And I accept it. When you get here, you may be a gorgeous young man, a gorgeous young lady, and all of that. And you'll get gorgeous young man and gorgeous young lady jobs. But boys, you sure do want sometimes to have something more meaty, something more or different or whatever. And it's hard to do that because you want to make money. For the people who want to pay you, have to pick the right person.
Yeah. That's such a, like, that's an excellent piece of life advice for people. Like, so many people, if they didn't get the job, whether it's an acting job or an office job or any kind of job, or they didn't get or if they weren't able to secure a client for whatever reason, they take it personally and they think, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with me? But what you're saying, and I love this so much, is that everything is really, I could just see this applying to so many different areas where it's not about you. It's just they're looking for something specific, and it's just not about you. You know, I just think of all the times even I've internalized and made it, you know, obviously it's sad when you don't get what you want. Obviously, like if you don't get the job and you really wanted it, it makes you feel sad for a minute, but to not, maybe not internalize it like we do sometimes and think that it's all, that you're so wrong for life. You know, we take it that far sometimes, I think.
It is something where sometimes with maturity that comes around. But I mean, I still feel slighted if a friend says something and it's kind of like mean. I feel slighted about this and about that. I still get upset over some things. My wife and I, you know, we're still at times, you know, because of an emotional tipping point or whatever you want to say. But when it comes to business, if you approach it, it's like they say with contracts. If you have a contract, it doesn't mean that I don't trust you. It means that these are the terms that we both agree to live by, you know, and in our transaction. Right. And, you know, if I tell people I'm going to make 20 logos for you like I used to do in the good old days, and I'm going to sketch them out and everything, and then we're going to talk about the direction, about how you talk about yourself, about your branding and all of that. And I come in with 20. Great. If I come in with 19, they go like, didn't you say you're going to come in with 20? Oh, yeah, I did. It was written in the contract. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And for anybody being a graphic designer, want to be, never show them 20, only show them 2. Talk to me.
It's so funny, really how many of these lessons can be applied to so many different things, so many different areas of life and different professions and things like that. Do you have any regrets, David, about your journey so far, or are you just I did what I did in the moment kind of guy?
I do think it would have been interesting if 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I would have gone into acting and stayed. I did take a few acting lessons. I did take improv and all of that. And since it's such a natural thing back then and natural thing now, but I don't know that I think I'm one of those people who's been through a life where I also enjoyed my design work. I enjoyed the people that I met and the people that I worked with. Oh my God. I had met so many people who were advocates for charitable causes that I was able to do logos for and able to help with their marketing and be there at their parties and and their events and make that something. And I was there to help people who weren't sure about how to connect with their market, explore how to do that. And it's just the same thing. I mean, I'm a storyteller. I told you I was a good, excuse the part of the expression, a good BS artist. And that's because when I was a kid growing up, I was the middle of 5, and around the table, that's what we did. But the same skill that I have right now in acting and in writing and screenwriting too. That's really where I had awards, by the way. And only for one short film, but I hold it very dear to my heart.
I want to see it so bad. I'm dying over here.
I know. When it comes out, I will send you a link, and you can put that up someplace and share it. It's a very short 25-minute movie, including credits. And it's the people that you work with, though. It is always the people that you work with. So you can't regret things when there are people who support you through the most difficult parts of your life. And they're there for you to cheer you on. A lot of my friends from Colorado are cheering me on. They say, oh, you're acting and you're doing this and all that. And when I was in my first little film, my little student films and all of that, they loved it. And I was like so validated, and I validate them. I still keep in touch with them with Facebook here and there. There's a few that I can call up and say, how are you? And when I go to Colorado, I can visit. That's no regrets, right?
Yeah. I was going to ask you how.
I'm not telling you though.
Oh, come on. No, I was going to ask you though about the support of other people, because a lot of times, especially in a lot of the interviews we've had on this show, it's been people moving from a career that they've absolutely hated and something that they were miserable in to moving into something that they love. And you have said many times today that you loved graphic design, you loved being in that work, but you also love acting, and it's a passion for you. And so I'm wondering if there's anybody, if you had all supportive people around you when you made the shift, or if there was anybody around you that was sort of like, you had it so good, what are you doing, kind of thing.
I think that it was the understanding of my wife, who I had met in community theater. We were in Denver, the Eden Community Theater. Lucy Walker forever is in our life as the director of that theater, who brought us together. But she cast us in the same little play. I don't remember the name of the play, but it was about AIDS. I was the boy who hated the girl. She was the girl who hated the boy. And at the end, we're an item, And she was supportive, and her parents were supportive when Patty and I were married. My family's always been supportive of my of any of the decisions that I've ever made. It really hurts people, and I've met people and I've spoken with people at great length and in a lot of ways who are doing what they're born to do, but they have all of the guilt of doing it, or they have all of those people saying, you know, you probably make more money as a lawyer instead of going off for that charitable thing, or, you know, whatever somebody's doing. Some people are advocates. They are advocates for those who can't talk, for those who without a voice, or for those who without resources. And sometimes there's not very much money in that, but there is a lot of good that you do. So I just say, follow your passion. Your passion is your therapy. And I feel sorry for the people who didn't get support. I've always had support.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really important that we have at least somebody in our corner that's cheering us on, and I think it can be difficult to for some people to understand that someone else's path may not seem logical to them, but I love that you're sharing with people to follow your passion anyway. And there are times when, I totally get when you talked about it being kind of lonely at times too, because it can be, I think, to be absolutely yourself and to follow your dream despite everything else, and to be, follow your passion despite what anybody else is telling you to do. I think that can be a lonely place, right?
Yeah, I think some people are addicted to the phone because it talks to them and they're able to chat with people and do all that. But for me, that used to be what the kind of television was a little bit, to a certain extent. But it's like, can you be alone, focusing on something that no one's going to know about, maybe ever. Maybe it's just one of those things that helps you feel, the way that you feel. It helps you express yourself, helps you grow, and all of that. Nobody else needs to know. And that's what sometimes we get into, that cultural competition or something, especially in Facebook and such,
Yeah. Social media is fun like that.
We just do on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get excited because you're out there in LA? Have you met anybody that you've always wanted to meet? Do you get it, even though you're acting and writing and all of that now, do you get excited meeting other people and being in that environment still?
Yeah. Oh, I tell you. Okay, so for all of you would-be actors who are coming over here to LA, I want you to join Central Casting or other casting offices. Central Casting is a place where you go to, you register, and you're like an employee, so to speak. You take the taxes out of your pay. And there is non-union and union classifications, and you'll start off as non-union unless you belong to Screen Actors Guild and all that. And you will go to it's hard. You have to be proactive in getting these kinds of jobs, and they have to be ready for you and wanting your casting, your type. But you will get background jobs, and background jobs are in all the studios, and you'll be in all these TV shows. I can't name all of the TV shows that I've been in as a background. But, NCIS and Blackish, and I could just go on, and it's almost like 200 background jobs.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, but it's just because you registered, you're in there, you do what you're told, you do not act.
Yeah.
You are told to walk this way, you walk this way. All those people that you see behind the main actors walking this way and walking that way, but you are still on the same set with Ted Danson. You're still on the same set with I'll just name anybody. And then in movies, they need background. And some of the people who are listening right now are familiar with that. They've been in movies in background where they got to do it for a day, and that was a thrill. But there are some people who do it all the time, all the time. And
I think
you just get to see other people work, and then you understand what it is to be a professional. If you are open to listening to it, you get to hear the director and the main actors working together, changing a few lines, moving a few things, coming in on take 3 more intense or more relaxed, whatever they're supposed to be, because they've trained themselves to do it. And it's beautiful to see. I've been on a lot of shows that way. And I get a thrill. I get a thrill out of all those people. I don't get a thrill out of award shows and stuff like that, but I do like working with people. That's for sure.
I love that. It sounds so exciting because to me, like when we've talked about surrounding yourself with people that are supportive and people who have the same dreams and desires and goals as you, like how important that is. And as I knew that I was going to be interviewing you, and I've had a couple other people that are actors or actresses or from Hollywood this season, which has been really fun for me. And I got really excited to one of my friends, and I said, I'm just so excited. Like this is so good for me. And she was like, oh, I don't get like that about celebrities. And I said, it's not the celebrity. For me, it's that these people have touched something that I used to want so badly for my life. And they've touched that and they've lived in it. And it makes the world feel smaller, and it makes us feel closer, and it makes it seem like it's not so far off for me,
Yeah, it's wonderful when the collaboration works. So I'm acting and all of that. I'm nothing without a good writer. I'm nothing without the crew doing what the crew is supposed to do. I'm nothing without my other actors and their coaches coaching them before they show up. I'm nothing without, those directors who have a vision that they can see. Not everything is shot in sequence, of course. Sometimes everything in one location is shot for various stages of the story. And so they have to have that vision and the process. It's all very, it's very business. It's very collaborative. And if you get to like people that you're working with, all the better, right?
Right. So you've got a short that is making its round in the film festivals right now. Can you tell us a little, I know you can't give away a lot, but can you tell us a little bit about that project and what it means to you too?
I think for this show, for this podcast, there's a lot of to be learned and how it came about. I went to acting class. A fellow named Willow Keys came in from Indonesia. He's actually Colombian. Came in from Indonesia, where his family and he lives. And he spent 2 months in LA and went home. He wanted to do some acting. So he took acting lessons at the same place that I did. The acting instructor had a thing where if you work a scene together really, really well, you can, he'll film it, because he also had a production class. So we filmed and all this. We did a really good job. Then Willow said, David, we should do something else. We should do something for us. I said, that's a great idea. I'll write something and give to you like it tomorrow. Okay. So I wrote out the movie, and people do this. This is Los Angeles. But people do this all around the world. If you're a good writer, just saying, and it just comes to you, great. So this idea came to me, all the dialogue and everything about 2 guitarists, 2 singers, and they're from outside of LA. They come to LA, they're feeling a little bit lost. They meet each other and they help each other. It's a friendship thing. And that's kind of the movie in a nutshell. But what I did is, I said, okay, Willow, you like this movie? Okay, let me call up a friend She's a Brazilian producer here in Hollywood. So I'm actually Brazilian only because I just want to let you know people come from everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So I said, Sabrina, what do you think about, I'm going to send you this movie. What do you think about it? She says, okay, we want to do it. Why don't we get Jaime Torres to direct it and do the cinematography? I'm thinking my phone, a weekend, 9 days of shooting. It turned into 9 days of shooting. I had to figure out crafty. Crafty is the food. What are you going to feed people? You know, during the shooting. Now I spent a sleepless nights trying to figure that one out. Then Sabrina, who has made films, award-winning films, all year. I mean, she does like 9 or 10 a year, easily 9 or 10 a year. She's a filmmaking machine. She goes, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. She held my hand through the process of making this wonderful, delightful film. And all the people that I had acted for while they were in film school, they graduated from film school, and they were there to help make my film.
Wow.
They all worked for free. They brought the cameras, the lights, the sound. We got the locations. That cost a little bit of money. And the food cost a little bit of money. But everybody else brought everything else. But we had 22 people in this cast. And it's just, that's what they do. And as they get better, that was 2 years ago. As they've gotten better, they brought me up. And I brought them up. And we all work together in our networks to bring everybody up. And that's every business. But that is definitely how this film was made, and is definitely how you know, it was accomplished from an idea to whatever. You grab your friends, you say, be a part of this.
Yeah.
If they're talented, yay.
The story is of even that is so exciting, because like I can't imagine what you must be feeling right now, and just, I mean, I would be just grinning from ear to ear all the time, excited about the journey. Just, you know, when you bring people together, that was exactly the same thing with this show. You know, the first season I thought, oh, this will be fun, my mom might watch, let's get a couple friends together and we'll just kind of talk about stuff on the, you know. And over time, like, we've had more than 50 people on, and now we're getting it's just grown in a way that I just didn't. And it's cool to see what you wanted come to life. So is that what it feels like to you when you, now that it's like it's getting awards? Like, how do you process that?
I process it in two ways. The way that is a kid and the way that is a business person. And because now I've decided that my wife and I made a mutual decision of spending the money and going union, something that you have to earn through the work that you do, and people have to read up on that if they're interested.
Now, I know that you've done the short, and that's making its rounds right now, and you've got lots of other things going on. What do you feel like is sort of the next step in your journey? What's next for you at where you're at? Or are you just sort of focused on where you are?
Well, I think because of when I stepped into this business at the age of 56, started learning all of that. I'm 60 now. I think that I'm more of a person who will create my own projects. I have maybe 3 or 4 different, what I would call different project making groups. People who are also actors, are also writers. You know, we're all multiple creatives and all of that. Or maybe they're really good at directing, or they're good at, but there are different elements of making movies that they're really good at. For me, I'm really good at writing, and I'm really good at acting. Not so good with the music, not so good with getting money for things. And some of these guys are amazing at getting money for things. They know how to talk about their projects to the right people. And that's a wonderful skill to have. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm going to I see that coming up. If a casting director throws me into something and you go through the process, it's an arduous process to get on a show. You are cast into it, then you have a callback, and then another callback. And each time you see more people, the writers, the directors, the sponsors of the show, be they Kellogg's or Sears or whoever they are. And a lot of people are there to make the decision for the major shows, major TV shows and whatnot. So for me, if I make my own projects, I can write myself in for acting. Some of the things I write, I wouldn't cast me. But I think that business-wise, you're looking for ways to make money with residuals, since I'm in the union. And for writing, I'll probably join the writers union at some point when I qualify for that. I think I won't be a producer. Those people are crazy. Being a producer is definitely, it's like your worst nightmare. You're in charge of everything, and everything falls on you. And if things do not move, it's you.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't you. Because there's 60, 70, 120 people making a TV show or a film at any given moment.
Right.
So anyway, I know where I'm at. I am at the writing, editing the writing, rewriting. Writing is rewriting. I know that part of it, and I love that part of it, and I also love the acting.
I love it. If there was a movie written about your life, who would be your ideal person to play you? Who would play David Austin Veal?
Oh boy, John Woodlow.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
He'd have to be younger. He has to do the CGI because I wanted him to start when I was a kid.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's really funny because because of the schools I've been going to, and people will always, other actors always go like, you remind me of. So you get your idea of your casting.
Yeah.
And you see, what did those people do? What kinds of things did they do? Because they were cast just like you're going to be cast. And when I'm gone and dead, somebody's going to say, like, I'm just like that David Austin Veal guy. Yeah, Yeah, I can do that. I can do that stuff,
Yeah. Do you have any favorite, what are some of your favorite movies or television programs? Doesn't have to be today, anything over time, some of your favorites.
Well, I have to say, I follow Tom Hanks a lot. I didn't get to see Mr. Rogers yet, but I will.
You haven't? Oh,
and
was good.
I love Forrest Gump. I just, sometimes it's hard to watch it because the empathy I have for some of the characters, but I think it's a wonderful, wonderful film. My wife and I are really big with The Big Bang Theory. She bought me the whole 12 season set. We're on season 4 right now.
I love it.
And, I've always been a Star Trekker, and I've always been, I'm getting into the Avengers and the DCs and all that a little bit, There are just wonderful masterpieces out there. Absolutely wonderful masterpieces that thrill me. But I'm going to leave it with those.
Okay.
I don't want to give it all away.
Yes, leave some for next time.
Okay.
After you've won your Oscar and you're back to talk to me, and we can talk about now.
That's a joke around here. Yeah.
We've already talked about this once.
I think I'm going to get a Corvette. All electrical, of course. I mean, we're earth friendly here.
Yes, you're environmental. You're environmental out there. That's what it is.
Try.
You're so much fun, and I'm just so I'm so
Thank you.
honored to hear your story because I think like there's so much value in hearing people's journeys and being able to find commonality and also hear about things that might make us go to the next thing, go to the next level, push to be something that we've wanted to be. And so I love that. I'd like to finish with this question. Do you, a lot of times there's a lot of people in the spiritual and personal development communities who will say, you know, well, I don't watch TV and movies because that's not developing myself. That's not, you know, that's not spiritual enough. That's not, I don't know. But do you think that there's more than just entertainment values in TV and movies and things like that? Do you think we can learn things?
Can we learn things with a lot of what's written in independent films, independent shows, and all of that? Yes. It's not just entertainment because you have to drill into it a little bit. What makes a writer write? You know, can you get anything out of Hemingway? Can you get anything out of the multitudes of amazing stories or from Shakespeare, plays from Shakespeare that were meant really just to entertain the people, just to go out there and give them something. And yet you have King Lear, and you know, you have these amazing plays that go deeper into what makes us do what we do. I think that is something that I've always been interested in. When I watch a movie, and there's some disappointments, you know, but there are some, like I said, I like Forrest Gump. I like Forrest Gump because it touches upon the question of why do we do what we do? It's not just entertainment value. When you look at a series like All in the Family or MASH,
Yes.
when you look at those, they explore the humanity, and they get into why is somebody who's seemingly nice a racist? Yeah, they're a racist, and they don't know it. And it's just one of those things. And it's something that touches upon what we are talking about today in our society. And that's a big job of a lot of what happens here in Hollywood is to touch upon these things. Sometimes it's frivolous, but a lot of times it drills down into it, and we're watching a show and we're crying with the character because we identify with that person who's just been victimized by their loved one, and neither of them can see what the other is doing. And that's something that happens in reality.
Right.
So yeah, it's entertainment. It's frivolous. It's all this. But also, I mean, some people just don't like movies and TV, and that's okay. They get
those are not my people.
Sometimes there's something to be said for other avenues of expression and all of that. When you're in here, you're kind of like in the you're in the pool with the other fish. So you got to swim, and so you think that your ideas sometimes are a little bit more lofty, perhaps, than they are. The best thing is collaboration happens. The best thing is you run things with other people. You're accountable to other people.
Right. I just want to thank you so much for taking your time with me today and sharing a little bit about your journey and giving some of us who have that little fire to act or sing or write a little touch of what it's like and what some things that we can do as well. So I just thank you so much for being with me today, Dave.
Well, thank you for the invitation. It's my pleasure, and it's also, it just fills my heart to relate to people. And thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you guys want to find more about David Austin Veal, you can find him on social media, and also be sure to click the links in the show notes that'll lead you to all of his fun stuff. And I'm really going to be looking forward to when your short's out and I can stop sitting here wondering what it's like and I can watch it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Thanks so much again, Dave. And we'll be back in a minute for some more Breakthrough Show. Hey, thanks for watching or listening to this episode of The Breakthrough Show. This spot you're listening to right here was made just for you. We are currently looking for sponsors and friends of the show, and it's super easy to ask for more information. Simply send an email saying more sponsor info to business@thebreakthroughshow.com, or click the link in our show notes to send a message to our Facebook page. We can't wait to partner with you. And now back to The Breakthrough Show. All right, everybody, welcome back to The Breakthrough Show. I'm back here with my co-host today, Heather Clark, and also cousin Jim Spinnato is here today doing some magic for us. And we just finished talking to David Austin Veal, and now we're going to have some more fun and you're going to do another trick for us?
As you know, I'm going to be teaching magic online. So this is one of the tricks I'm going to teach. It's because everyone's in the card tricks lately. I got to stand up for this. Can we see this?
Yes.
So obviously you cannot pick a card because you're not there, but you have someone pick a card. We'll just pick this one, right? See it?
Yep.
And then put it back in the deck and do a couple of riffles. And then you wave your hand over the deck. And what happens when you wave your hand over the deck is that your card, the one that you just selected, has reversed itself in the deck. Watch. You'll notice that as I go through the deck, there's one card that's upside down. Your card, the 5 of spades. Then you go, no, Jim, that's not my card. And I go, ooh, did I mess up? No, it's part of the trick, because this card is an indicator card. It's actually telling me that your cards is 5 cards down. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your card was what?
The 10 of...
Say it. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, that's it.
There it is.
Old trick that I did. I learned when I was a young kid, and now the card tricks are so popular, I thought that I would just teach that. It's really simple.
That doesn't get old. Heather, have you ever had any favorite magic tricks, or does any of this because I just sit here and go, really?
Really?
Oh, so I couldn't watch magic tricks because I would always want to know how.
Yeah.
I was always that person. No, do it again. No, do it again. Because I always wanted to know how. So yeah, so I growing up in high school, there's actually one particular guy who was the magic guy in our entire school. And of course,
Really?
Oh yeah. And it was the funniest thing. So I would watch him, and I'd be every time he'd show somebody else, I'd be looking at it. So I was too analytical for magic.
Is he still doing it?
I don't think he's still doing it, but he's now in performing arts and stuff. But yeah, I don't think he actually does magic. Yeah. So. Yeah.
I never did this stuff for school. It was always, back then it was you gotta be kind of geeky to be a magician. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's okay. We were totally okay with him being geeky.
Yeah. Well, this is when I was at school, which is 107 years ago.
107.
Yeah. So I know at the time that we're recording this, you're getting ready to do like you said, an online, like a magic class.
Yeah.
And, you're going to do it on Zoom. Is this something that if people are interested and things stay the way they are for a while, will you continue to do these?
I'm not sure. Since I'm not performing anywhere, a lot of people have asked me if I would teach, and I never really did want to. But then I thought that'd be a good idea. So I am going to do it on Zoom. I'm going to do it on April 18th. And I will teach just simple magic tricks with everyday items, like that card trick, a couple of more card tricks. I'll teach you how to produce a coin, vanish a coin. I'll teach you how to do a prediction trick as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Actually, there's a lot of interest. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Trickswithjim.com.
Tricks with. I knew you were going to buy the URL for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean it's a good URL, and it's right up there with holyshitjim.com.
And my question is it child friendly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. How come that's the number 2 in question?
Well, only because my son actually does enjoy trying to do magic tricks and stuff. So I was maybe I'll actually get him to,
Yeah,
And, like,
no, yeah, of course, yeah. I'm assuming I'm gonna get a lot of kids who are stuck at home now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I used to teach years and years ago. Haven't done it in a while, but looking forward to it.
yeah. I think it'll be great. And like, it's awesome that you'll be able to do these different things. And maybe it's not something that you planned on doing right now, but it's a good option for you, and other people get to benefit from that, and being home anyway.
I'm excited. It should be fun. Tricks with Jim.
Yeah. On the next episode of the Breakthrough Show, we'll have Jim back and talk about purchasing URLs every time he has a new idea.
It should have been Holy Trick Jim.
You see, now I should have confronted you first.
Like, come on.
Damn it. Okay. Next time I need a URL, I'm going to call you.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We need to have a conference before we find Holy Trick Jim. Gosh, that would have been, damn it,
Holy
Heather.
Trick Jim. That would have been good.
Nobody consulted me.
I will next time, I promise.
All right, good.
All right, guys. Well, this has been so much fun today. I want to thank my guest co-host, Heather Clark. I hope that you enjoyed the tricks and the laughs and conversation. It's always good to have you on. And also thank you to my cousin and yours now, Jim Spinnato.
Thanks, sweetie. I love you. It's always good to see you.
Love you too. It's always good to have you on. And another thank you to my special guest today, David Austin Veal. Such an incredible interview. To connect with Heather, Jim, or David, or myself, make sure you visit the links in the show notes. And until next time, make every day a great day for a breakthrough. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Breakthrough. Please visit our website at www.thebreakthroughshow.com. And be sure to join our After the Breakthrough community powered by Patreon. We look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place for another inspiring episode.